Welcome, everyone, to Constructed Chaos, where we run our D&D live streams every single Wednesday and Monday at 7 p.m. Central Time. Tonight, we are running our Chat Plays D&D campaign, and for those of you who may not be familiar, I see we've got a few first-time Chat Plays D&D chatters in the chat right now. Chat. Alexandre Henriquez, I saw you were asking about how all this works. And essentially, you guys will be taking turns piloting 3 characters that have been moving through this campaign. They've changed hands many times, but have somehow survived through many different encounters. And hopefully that will remain the same after tonight. So if you are interested in piloting one of these players or characters, you can type !roleplay in the chat. That'll opt you in. And then just make sure you stay active. The system will randomly select somebody as someone else's usages run out. It is free to do it. And if you want to do it really badly, it will prioritize you if you have at least 400 chaos points banked up. That all said, let me know if you guys have any questions in the chat. Like I said, I saw there were a few people in here who may not have done this before. Least of all, Bacon and Vodka, who came in with 10 gifted memberships before I was even on the screen, man. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. As a reminder in general, those memberships get you a ton of different things, not only chaos points, not only emotes that you can use in the chat, but also access to our membership-only content that includes monthly homebrew pamphlets that I was a little bit behind on, but am now almost caught up with, because as of yesterday or the day before, I released the May pamphlet that includes my own custom class, the Wrath. Subject to change a little bit as time goes on. I'm sure some balancing will be necessary. It is only me thinking all this stuff up over here. I would love it if you guys went over to our channel page, checked out the membership tab, and let me know what you think about the Wrath. I'm very proud of it. I worked really hard on it. That's why it took so long. Thank you guys for being patient, and welcome to the Chaos Crew, 10 new members, and of course, Bacon and Vodka. We also need to thank our friends over at Tabletop Beard who have sent us the Commander beard oil tonight. This one smells like sandalwood, tea tree, and patchouli. I feel like Commander it evokes this sort of, battle-hardened imagery, but I'm thinking of a guy who's, he's playing chess while everybody else is playing checkers. He's sipping on his tea. He's got a little bit of incense going on. It smells really good. If you want to be the strategist yourself, go head over to tabletopbeard.com and use code CHAOS20 for 20% off of your order at checkout. I see Jason in the comments saying Wrath beard oil. That would be a really good idea. There may be a certain beard oil coming eventually that might be somewhat chaos oriented, but we'll get to that another time. For right now, let's check out the comment from last session. This comment comes from Lucas Andre Silva. He said, Twitch Chat Plays D&D. Awesome. Great. I agree, Lucas. It is awesome, great, except that I have taken all the functionality of Twitch and moved it on over to YouTube because I don't like Twitch all that much. So if you guys are interested in seeing any new features as we go along, let me know, because I am certainly keen to add whatever makes this experience more fun and more easy to work with for all of you. That all said, I do also need to shout out our friends over at Darkport. Their link is also in the description below, and they stream every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central Time, so you can catch them tomorrow night if you are keen on some more D&D. But finally, with all that out of the way, it is time to roll that beautiful bean footage.
Your respite among the merfolk is brief. Here, miles beneath the shimmering surface of Nerethys, the weight of what stirs in the deep bears down upon you. Nerethys, the sunken city, has long been warded by Einir, the god of storms, whose dwindling power barely restrains the ancient terror now sealed within. Zealous' influence creeps ever outward, Already you've crossed blades with their tendrils twice, unaware of the truth. The depths work in secret to return their master to power. And now, Aruvi, the merfolk who guided you to this coral refuge, calls you forth once more. This place is no longer safe, and soon, nowhere will be.
Welcome back, everyone. So, now that Chat has seen the intro, we rejoin our adventurers post-combat immediately following their encounter with 3 tentacles that they now know are basically extensions of the evil deity Zealous, looking to retake this underwater city that was once theirs. Spurred on by the enigmatic Depths organization that seems to be enabling this the return of this vile foe. Now, before we get too far underway, we need to figure out who's piloting these characters. So, if you haven't already, type !roleplay in the chat. That'll get you in the running. And without further ado, let's see who's piloting Yancifer, our Shadow Sorcerer Halfling. Going to be Alexandre Henriquez. Welcome in, first timer. Don't worry, we will guide your hand as we go.
Semicolon closing parentheses.
Now, that's a perfect learning opportunity for you.
Nice.
Because now that you are piloting Yancifer, anything you type in chat will be spoken aloud. You only get 10 usages before it switches you off. So be careful about that. And it'll also count whenever you roll dice. But we'll get to that in just a second, as we first need to figure out who's piloting Valen, the muscle mommy barbarian. Looks like Russell Mooney, very, very much a regular here in Chat Plays D&D, is going to be rounding out the barbarian character here, as we now move on to Nerethys, the Goliath paladin. XIVM, another regular here in chat. So not to worry, Alexandre, you will be in good, capable hands here as we get things underway. You can see all of you as we rejoin our adventurers. The coral of this structure that you find yourselves within is shuddering violently beneath your feet as cracks race through the walls like lightning. Water pours into the air-filled chamber, and Aruvi, the merfolk woman that you met last session, urges you forward, diving back into the sea. What is everyone doing? Keep in mind that you are leagues beneath the surface. This is the only pocket of air that you've found other than the city of Nerethys itself. And so as this area collapses, it is quite easy to ascertain that it's no longer safe for you to stay here. Let me know what everybody's doing. We got Yancifer, the halfling shadow sorcerer, who has been known to do some alter self shenanigans. Valen, the muscle mommy barbarian, wild magic, of course, who tends to be very much the tank of the group, as is fitting. And then Nerethys, the Goliath paladin, who uses their powers of fire even this far beneath the surface of the waves. Andres Marrero, just to double check, we obtained all those several tentacles, right?
Don't we have some potion, lotion, or elixir? Somewhere. Come on, guys!
I don't know why that voice changed like that, but I love it. So, Nerethys, yes, there are... Valen does have a potion of water breathing. We know that much. That has not been used. There are no healing potions in your possession. Those were all used up in prior sessions. And as for the voice crack, I'm not sure what we can do about that. Andres Marrero, you guys definitely were able to harvest 3 more tentacles. So there's 4 tentacles that you have in your possession now. I'm not sure what you're planning on doing with them, but you have them just in case you need them for whatever ill-fated plot you have in mind. Andres, that is a very good observation. as someone who's been here for many of the episodes, Yancifer does also have a gem of water control that allows for some minor effects.
Sorry, Goliath, go through 3 to 4 puberties.
Yeah, I'm guessing anytime you put that exclamation point at the end, the the bot is just gonna voice crack you. Bacon and Vodka wants a healing lotion option. Now, I believe that your paladin friend may have some lay on hands hit points left. I don't know exactly how many off the top of my head, but there are some there. Looks like 20. You haven't spent any yet. So, Nargith, if
so
you...
sorry for this. I can alter self, like grow some fish lung type thing. Can I cast something that helps the party?
You certainly can. So, if you guys are interested, the links to the character sheets are in the description below. If you haven't used D&D Beyond before, it should be pretty simple once you get acclimated a little bit. But for the most part, Yancifer has been making very expert use of the Alter Self spell to turn into sort of a shadowy land shark creature that swims nimbly through the water and is able to breathe underwater as well. As far as something to help the entire party, I'm guessing, any of your spells could come in handy. You do have Misty Step, although that is only a self-teleport. That could potentially help you to gain some ground once you do dive underwater. You're going to have to swim your way out of here. There's no way around that, at least. Let's see. There is a fog cloud and darkness could potentially be some good cover for you and your allies, depending on how things go. But as of right now, all you know is that this chamber is collapsing. There are tentacles abound, likely more than just the ones you felled, and it's time to go. Rub that healing lotion all over your party. Yeah. Got to make sure you don't get too tan this far beneath the sun. Yeah, all characters are pretty low health after that last encounter.
Nargith will tap
intense.
each of his comrades. 5 to Yancy,
Okay.
10 to Muscle Mommy, and 5 to himself.
Okay, so 5 to Yancifer, bringing you to 15, taking you out of bloodied range. That was another 10 to Valen, the tank. Very, very smart of you to add that extra amount. And then 5 to yourself. Taking a moment to catch your breath before diving under the water. You tap each of your allies as a bit of that sort of amber light flows out from you. Your beard begins to glow. The markings on your skin begin to glow as
Cast
well.
alter self to the fish thing. Can they ride on my back for extra movement speed? If so, I do it.
Absolutely. So you can go ahead and cast Alter Self, and as you do, you feel that shark fin begin to protrude from the back of your head, gills open up on the side of your neck, and you do feel like you're able to swim nimbly enough through the water that you can take one of your allies that doesn't have a swim speed with you. Now, you were also traveling with Aruvi, who's already dove in beneath the waves. She now kind of resurfaces and begins motioning you. As you recall, not all of you are able to speak the same language with this merfolk woman, but she is a friend, and she is willing to carry at least one of your party. So perhaps you can form a team between the two of you to carry the other two out. If that's the way we want to go, then we will move on ahead. So, as you all get the sense that this is more urgent than you might have initially imagined, you follow your merfolk friend into the sloshing pool, and as you breach, your breath is nearly stolen in an instant. All around you, the sea churns with danger. Tentacles lash out
I will
from
hold
ruptured
my breath
crevices.
for as long as possible. Vaylin, you drink the potion.
That's a great idea. Now, I will tell you this, Nargith. For no real reason other than to know, how long you can hold your breath is determined by your Constitution modifier, and Valen does have the highest Constitution modifier out of the three of you. So you might, I don't know, just given that information, totally up to you. I'll wait to see what Valen decides to do with that. But as you all dive deep, you see tentacles lashing out from ruptured crevices, whipping inches from your path. Chunks of reef break away overhead, crashing into the sea floor with bone-rattling force. Razor-sharp coral juts from the walls, and the currents whip you side to side. This once silent ruin now echoes with chaos as you swim, scramble, and dodge through the collapsing sanctuary. Now that all of you are in here, I'm going to have you roll for initiative, and we're going to start with Yancifer. So, Alessandra, you're going to type exclamation
Valen
point.
gives the magical seaweed to Nerethys. You might need this more than I do.
Nerethys, after pumping some lay on hands into Valen, is kind of taken aback by your gesture. You sort of raise an eyebrow as Nerethys, I imagine, now downs the seaweed potion, coming to understand that although you're smaller in stature, you are bigger in muscle. So, Yancifer, as we roll initiative, Alessandra, you're going to type exclamation point roll initiative. And that should add in all your modifiers and all that good stuff automatically.
Glug, glug,
Glug, glug, glug. I do love that the exclamation point makes the voice shoot up like an octave. Oh, no. Initiative with a T instead of the C. So try that one more time for me. Hey, Saft, welcome in. And you do have the Gem of Water Control, essentially equal to Shape Water, but it does some extra stuff. It is in Yancifer's character sheet if you want to check that out. There are 2 charges left on it. There you go, 12. 12 for Yancifer on the initiative. So let's go ahead and Valen roll initiative for me. We'll see where you come up in the batting order here. An 11, not following far behind. And Nerethys, you will roll initiative as well for me, bringing up the rear. But you may, with an 11 and a 12, you may end up at the top here. Let's see how that goes. Oh, hang on. I already forgot that Valen and Nerethys both have the alert feat. Somebody remembered from the other room, the voice in my head. This essentially just decides the turn order in this. I will let you guys know. So don't burn another use just to roll again. So Nerethys, with a 16, you are going to be moving first as you dive into the water, seeing your ally transformed into this shark. The merfolk woman swims and gathers you, begins carrying you down at nearly breakneck speed. Andres, yes. Thank you for the alert reminder. Like I said, this will just decide the turn order between everybody else. It shouldn't have too much of a implication for this chase here. So, starting out in the initiative, Nerethys, you are being carried by Aruvi, the merfolk woman, down into the depths. From this distance, I'm going to say, since you're moving first, you can see roughly that the exit from this coral chamber is about 90 feet ahead of you all. With that in mind, you are sort of relying on Aruvi to carry you through the waves. What exactly are you looking to do on your turn? You can sort of guide her by giving her some sort of indication on which direction you'd like to go. But for the most part, she's going to be swimming straight towards that exit. Is there anything else that you would like to do on your turn? And I'll say, Yancifer, be thinking about what you may want to be doing. You will be probably carrying Valen, but you're gonna have some. We'll say some chance to do whatever it is that you want to do. Ignite your giant beard. And also, never trust the voice in your head. It'll just get you not to invest in timeshares. Hey, actually, I thought you were going to say something like early Bitcoin or something. I'm down not to invest in timeshares. Are there timeshares in D&D? I kind of feel like with all the death and destruction and monsters, that would be a very bad business.
I'm going to
be
go
in.
along for the ride.
Okay. So, Nargith, as you hold on tight and RV swims straight down through the water, I'm going to have you roll a d20. Just a d20, flat roll. Exclamation point, roll d20. Everything exists. It's in D&D, Alex. Yes, I know. I'm just trying to think of practically. What is the housing market like? Okay, a 9. So, as you are carried deep beneath at this rushing pace, you feel like your eardrums are about to burst. Luckily, you did drink that potion of water breathing, so you are able to sort of equalize the pressure in your mind. But just as soon as you find relief from that, Nargith, you see a vein of sort of raw magma earth open up beneath the coral structure, shooting out this vein of steam. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw. And I'll say make it an advantage because you are a fire Goliath. So do exclamation point roll, con, save, ADV. Welcome in, Aaron B. Timeshares on an evil villain lair. That's a good idea. They are changing hands really fast. Oh, 19. Hell yeah. You were able to, it actually feels quite refreshing. The water was a little cold and this has livened you up a bit. You feel a bit more limber as you hang on and ROV powers through this jet of steam. We now move to Yancifer's turn. Yancifer, I imagine you're probably grabbing Valen and beginning to swim down as well. But let me know if there's anything else that you would like to do or if you're just swimming straight down. And Valen, be thinking about what you want to do. You are next on deck here, and unlike everyone else, you are on a bit of a timer in terms of how long you can hold your breath. It is 1 plus your con mod in minutes to hold your breath, but keep in mind that the pocket of air that you've left behind you could be the last one for a little while. That could come into play. Use the gem to harness the eruption for rocket boosts. Not a bad idea.
I'm grabbing my partner as swimming down, but if I can, I want to quick spell fog and dash.
That is a great idea. I'm going to say because you're carrying someone to match the normal speed. Actually, you know what? You've got a swim speed and you're carrying another like relatively small creature. Yeah, I think with a dash, you can get your full 60 feet total of movement. And you quicken a spell to cast fog, which sort of almost looks like an ink cloud, especially because you're a shadow sorcerer. It begins to eke out from your hands, not quite the darkness spell, but it's just sort of obscuring everything around you, making it look like just ambiguous silhouettes. And so the tentacles that are writhing and lashing from the walls are definitely having a harder time hitting you, but you know which direction you're supposed to go, so you are able to swim down. Now, for those of you not familiar with chase rules, you do get your con modifier number of dashes per chase before you need to start making certain checks. So, Yancifer, that is one of your 2 dashes that you get to use in this encounter. Now, at the end of your turn, I'm going to have you roll a d20, just like your friend did. Exclamation point roll. You can shorten it to exclamation point R if you want, and then d20. By the way, Alexandre, you're doing great. You're doing great, man. This is as good as I possibly could have hoped, especially for a first timer. You caught on really fast. Let's see what we get. A 16 this time. Pretty high roll, but what does it correspond to? Okay, as you are a bit distracted by your own fog cloud that you've created, You feel a pressure at your back. Your fish-like senses are telling you that something large is coming your way, and as you turn just for a moment, you see yet another looming silhouette, but this time it is a large chunk of coral debris falling down overhead and gaining on you at speed. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw. So you're going to type !R, dex save. We're going to see if you're able to avoid this. Very nice. With an 18, as limber as ever, even pulling along your friend Valen, you were able to swim out of the way as this rocky coral pillar almost bisects the fog cloud that you were swimming down, opening up a channel for you to swim through free and clear while keeping the other two sides relatively obscured. You continue down and you make it 60 feet, now passing up Aruvi, who seems a bit impressed by your speed. We now move to Valen. You are being carried by your friend Yancifer, so you're not going to have any movement here, but you may be able to influence the battlefield in other ways. Is there anything that you would like to do on your turn? Indiana Jones, you are supposed to be in the desert. I don't know who. Nice. Yeah, this belongs in a museum. 20 viewers in the chat. Welcome in, friends. If you guys haven't seen Chat Plays D&D, feel free to observe for a little while, but type !roleplay if you would like to pilot one of these characters yourself. It looks like one of them will be coming up for grabs here pretty soon.
I keep my Morningstar ready to whack any enemy that gets too close.
Okay, so you're readying an action as you grip your Morningstar. With you being underwater and not having a swim speed, any attacks made underwater are going to be at disadvantage, but I'm going to say because you're readying that action, it'll be a straight roll. So you feel like you're ready for just about anything. Now, I'm going to have you end your turn just like everyone else. You're going to type !R D20 to find out what happens as you continue to grip your shark friend swimming straight down to the bottom of this coral structure, hoping to escape whatever ill fate awaits if you were to stay here. 19, you guys are rolling hot. So Valen, as you ready that as you ready your action, you're hyper vigilant, looking out around you. You see a few smaller pieces of debris coming your way, conceivably falling after that large pillar. And you're able to sort of just bat them away with your Morningstar, no problem. On a certain roll of the D20, there are no complications, and so you have successfully avoided that entirely. As we now circle back to the top of the initiative, Nargith, you are more or less steering Aruvi, who has swum 30 feet down and is now trailing your friends by 30 feet. Is there anything that you'd like to do on your turn before we move to check on your complication here? Everybody gets one. And I do got to keep track of how many
Dash,
rounds.
if possible.
Dash if possible. Okay. Make a persuasion check. So you're going to do !R persuasion. And we're going to see if you can convince Aruvi to move it at top speed here. I don't imagine it's going to take much convincing. I just want to see if you crit fail or anything. Huh. Tiago, I don't know why it gave you that random error message there. I thought I fixed that from last time, but oh well. Oh my God! Hell yeah! 15 plus 5, that's a 20. As you sort of nudge Aruvi, she turns to face you, wide-eyed, and you begin to point straight down. You even let out a bit of a burst of air, and as she notices that you are able to breathe underwater, she looks ahead and sees your friend Valen, who is unable, holding her breath, and realizes that it may be less about being careful moving down and more about getting out with speed while your friend's breath hangs on. And so you are able to convince her. She moves at speed, dashes to the bottom, and gets to that opening. But just as she gets there, I'm going to need you to roll a d20 for me to see what sort of complication you may be facing. Yeah, you didn't crit fail. We love that. Tiago, you are now piloting Nargith, so I'm going to have you roll that d20. It's going to be !R d20. As you reach the bottom, almost in a race with your friend Yansfer here. Okay, a 6. That is definitely going to involve some sort of complication. As that pillar has struck the bottom of this coral chamber, it kicks up all sorts of silt and dust and debris, and the visibility is quite low. As a matter of fact, as you touch down at the base of this structure, you lose sight of the exit entirely. And so next turn, you are going to have difficult terrain to move because you're going to need to be, you're going to have to be somewhat hesitant. As we now move back to, let's see, Yancifer's turn, still piloted by Alexandre. Let me know what you're doing. You're 60 feet down. You got 30 feet left to go, and you just see this huge cloud of debris. You just left your fog cloud. You're just able to see again, but now it looks like that exit is a little bit harder to find, a little bit harder to approximate. What would you like to do? I spent a fear die. Wrong system, but maybe we can run some Daggerheart on here. I mentioned it last stream. I wouldn't mind running Daggerheart for Chat Plays D&D. Let me know if you guys would be interested in that in the comments. Use Nerethys' beard as a light source. So like Rudolph, basically. Just like big chunky man Rudolph. I like it. Does Yancifer have Devil's Sight or something? As a Shadow Sorcerer, I think you get some benefits. I'm pretty sure you might be able to see in your own darkness, but I'm not 100% positive, so let me double check that.
I want to cast Bless on my companion, holding his breath and dash again.
Smart. Okay. So you channel the dark...
Eyes of the Dark.
Yes, Eyes of the Dark. You can see through your own darkness, and you have dark vision out to 120 feet. I'm going to say that'll come into play here, and you're able to see through this cloud just fine. Even though it's obscured, even though you're coming out of your own fog cloud, that little bit of information you had from before this silt was kicked up, you can find the doorway, and with your dash, you're able to maneuver out and beyond it, but not before casting Bless, Yancifer, swirling another dark cloud of energy that now sort of marks each of your allies as you swim beyond them out into the open ocean. We move on now to Valen. Valen, you've been holding on to that action with your Morning Star. You were able to avoid any complications, and your friend has just carried you out into the ocean. You're now looking back upon this coral structure that is folding in on itself as you watch. What would you like to do? I will say, now that you're out of the structure, you're not going to have any complications, but you will have a chance here, of course, to potentially do something to aid your allies here, depending on what you can come up with. It looks like XIVM is taking over as Yancifer here. See, it's a little bit of musical chairs, Alexandre. It's good fun. I'm glad you're enjoying it, man. I'm glad just to have you here in the chat, honestly. I don't know what time it is there, but I know it's probably either super late or super early, so I really, really appreciate you being here. Thank you for joining us. What are you thinking, Valen? Russell, what do you got planned? If Nargith ever gets a mount, it basically just needs to be Rudolph. It could just be a regular deer, and he could be the light that shines so bright, guides the sleigh tonight. Valen, use the magical eyes of love. That's not a terrible idea. Could definitely come in handy. could potentially spot.
Would I be able to use the prism to reflect light in a way that helps Aruvi and Naragath to get out?
I'm gonna say yes. Using the prism. Make a what sort of check do I want to have you make for this? I'm gonna say make an Arcana check. It's a little weird. Kind of feel like it would be Arcana or Investigation, but do Arcana. I like this use case. This was not intended use case, but I like it. Okay, not bad for a +0. As you bring the prism up to your eye, you're able to see through the water more clearly as it sort of dims the surroundings. You can see their silhouettes. It's almost like a polarized lens in a way. And as you see their silhouettes sort of moving through the water, through that silt that's been kicked up, you nudge Yancifer, who turns and begins calling out to them in earnest so that they can hear the direction that they need to move. Their low visibility, difficult terrain is effectively
Naragath, with
removed.
your beard so bright, won't you show me where you are tonight?
Yes, indeed. And speaking of Naragath, we are back to the top of initiative. Naragath, as you hear your friends calling out to you, that silt begins to settle, and what you catch through the debris that has now diminished is the male merfolk that you met the session prior as they battle furiously against several tentacles, his trident a flash of defiance against the churning mass of debris. He glances over your way only once, locking eyes just past you with Aruvi. A silent nod passes between them. Then the male merfolk retreats behind the other merfolk that he's led out and swims in the opposite direction of you. As Aruvi carries you out from this collapsing coral structure, just in time, on cue, the reef groans, fractures, and swallows in on itself in an instant, in a cascade of stone and silt. Aruvi does not look back. She tightens her grip instead and continues to swim you onwards into the deep, remembering that Valen only has a certain amount of time before her breath runs out. Aruvi continues to surge forward, cutting through the dark like a silver dart, her bone spear
I'm
trailing...
not the best swimmer, so I use my shield as a support in the water, hoping it floats a bit and helps me out of here.
That's not a bad idea, Tiago. However, the ocean surface is miles above you. Even just at a glance, you know that your best bet is to make your way towards Nerethys. And based on where Aruvi is moving, that is where you're headed. You struggle to hang on as she swims as fast as she can. Valen, I imagine that Yancifer is swimming you as fast as they can as well. Your lungs begin to burn, nevertheless, with the weight of withheld breath. The light of Nerethys glimmers ahead, distorted through the wavering curtain of the storm's veil. Now, I had planned to have you guys make some con saves for holding your breath. However, you got through that chase really fast. A peek behind the curtain, Valen, you have 22 rounds left of breath. And I had decided that it would take 2 minutes to get to Nerethys. If you guys do that math in reverse, that means that you get there with only 2 rounds to spare. And so with that, I'm gonna go ahead and change up our mood here a little bit. Expertly navigated, adventurers. The watery veil parts like mist as Aruvi thrusts you forward. Naragath, your body breaches onto the still, salted air of Nerethys as you now eye your friends Yancifer and Valen. Valen, you're maybe even coughing a little bit, barely able to hold your breath long enough to reach this place once again. The three of you tumble onto silted stone, as the pressure lifts from your shoulders. Behind you, ROV hovers just beyond the watery veil. Her form refracted in the shifting light, she watches you silently as you continue to recover. What is everyone doing? Is anybody doing anything specific in this moment? As you catch your breath here on the edge of Nerethys, the city that you've been warned of as being immensely dangerous, however, necessary for you to explore, given the plight that now faces both the deep sea and the surface far above. I'll say while you all are sitting there, you're sort of taking stock of your surroundings. Nerethys sits silent before you, its streets coiling inward in a great spiral carved up from its rocky foundation. Towering coral-wrapped structures rise from the outer edge, leaning and crumbled with age, while the inner rings grow narrower and more refined, each layer built atop the last like chambers of a great conch shell. The path ahead weaves between fallen arches and fractured buildings, always curving deeper towards the center, where a single pinprick shaft of light pierces into the gloom. Magical love eyes activate. Aruvi takes this moment as you all seem to be reacclimated to breathing on your own again. She presses her hand towards the watery veil. Her expression is grave but resolute. For the end of last session, Yansfer, you were able to cast Comprehend Languages, and so as she begins to speak, you understand her words. The eye of the storm lies at the city's heart. There is but one way to reach it, the spiral path. It winds through Nerethys like a great shell. My people no longer use it. Too many have fallen to the depths. But you must. The storm is failing, and only at its center do I believe it can be restored. Do know, the depths will come for you. Of that, I am certain. But Einir has marked you. His winds will not abandon you. She takes a breath, sort of glancing back the way you came, her hand over her heart as I must return to aid my kin. Go now, and may the storm guide your steps. She takes a breath, closes her eyes, and then swims back the way you came. As you three are left alone in the city of Nerethys once more, with a bit more information than you had the last time, what would you like to do? What is everybody doing? Yes, bless the merfolk. Don't we have a spiral maps token from that assassin?
I try to make sure we survive another day and use all my lay on hands in the party. 10 on me, 5 on each of my fellow companions. Apparently I have all charges.
Sorry, that did get used earlier. Just at the start of the session, though, so you didn't miss much. And it actually got split up to where it was 10 on Valen and 5 on the other two. So you are out of that. Sorry, I forgot to mark it off. But to answer Andres' question, because it is a good question, that map was a map of the Bridge of Nerethys, a map to the Depths hideout, which you unfortunately found and lost a combat against the leader of the Depths, who sent you down here. So you do still have that map, but it's not of Nerethys, unfortunately. The way ahead, at least, is clear enough as you look ahead.
Well, I don't know about you guys, but I am beat. Maybe we need to take a rest.
That is a possibility. The answer for that is not a bad idea. You look across your allies, you see them bloodied and bruised after the combat that you had within the coral structure that was supposed to be your respite. And it was for a time, It certainly got you looking better than you were previously, but in this condition, if you were to come up on another bout with these ill-fated tendrils, you might not survive. Would Nerethys and the inside of the bridge have similar layouts? That's a good question, and if anybody would like to, I would allow them to make a investigation check for me. Just as a reminder, that's !R investigation, and it will add all of your modifiers for you. Very fancy. And I did sort of allude to another surprise, another new feature in our Discord when I made the announcement for the stream, but that's a surprise. You'll have to see what that is. Oh, looks like Valen is investigating. Ooh, with a 5. Once again, that map continues to just cause the party trouble. If you recall, you had trouble deciphering it on the surface, all of you. And so as you stare down at the map and you look up at the city, the thing that you can tell, first and foremost, at least, is that the map appears to indicate a lot of different grids, you know, almost like interwoven street corners.
IR investigation.
It's got to be !R. You can roll one as well, Tiago. I would allow that. But as you look out onto the city, Valen, you see that it is very much a circular structure. And so you imagine that it's probably not... Oh my God. It's probably not organized the same. And Tiago, as Nargith sees Valen looking over the map, you approach and lay a hand over her shoulder, peering at the map. And it's not the same. It's a different place. You're able to tell that for certain with a 10. It won't help you here, but you are able to at least see the path ahead as it winds up from the base of the city and sort of slowly circles it until it reaches the top. Sort of a spiral. Hence the name, the spiral path. Out around you, if anyone would like to make a perception check, you can see that there is some debris, even outside of the immediate city proper. But it's sparse. Maybe not exactly what you're hoping for. What does everybody think? XIVM rolling that perception check. Yansfer checking things out. I'm going to say, Yansfer, as you sort of look across the ruins that surround the outskirts of the city, parts of the seafloor that may have been the city ages ago have since, crumbled into disrepair. But you do find one thing in particular. You find a shattered statue of a Triton woman, her face lost to time. You find her hands still cupped around a shard of what seems to be depicting light. And carved into the base of the statue is a weathered script. Because you have comprehend languages up, you can read it, you alone. It says, "Let none forget the price of peace, the vigilance of Einir." Einir, you now know, is the god of storms, and once a inhabitant of Nerethys, long, long ago. Their origins and fate is ultimately mysterious, but you know that they have something to do with the storm that now keeps Nerethys dry, keeps it full of air. This could indeed be a Tethys statue, Andres. You don't have enough to go on to place it, but it certainly appears that this individual, this robed Triton woman, seems to be of great significance. Obviously, they made a statue of them, and this seems to have been after Einir's sacrifice. So, something to keep in mind. I like the ideas, guys. Does it sound like, I know Yansfer suggested that we take a short rest, at least. It hasn't been long enough for you to take a long rest. But we can do a short rest. I'll see either Valen or Nargith if you want to kind of double down and swing the votes in your favor on taking a short rest here or pressing on. Just let me know what you think. I'm really excited for this episode, guys. Started off with a bang. You know I like my chases.
Guys, we might not be safe staying too long in the same place. We should rest quickly and move on before those bastard tentacles find us.
Okay. And with your prior checks, that 15 and the 10 investigation earlier, you're able to find a bit of debris to sort of cozy up to. And so you make camp in the best way that you can without being too exposed. I'm going to have all of you make a stealth check for me to see how well you can hide yourselves during this short rest that you're going to attempt to take. And we'll start with Yancifer. So XIVM, if you wanted to roll stealth for me, let me see how well you guys are able to mask your presence in this unfriendly land. We'll follow it up with Valen and Nargith. You guys just be ready to roll. We can get through these real fast and see. 12, not bad. Our halfling is perhaps not quite as stealthy as their reputation may proceed, but still pretty quiet nonetheless. Valen, let's see what you roll for stealth here. Ooh, a 5 from Valen here. As you near your friend, you're a little stutter-stepped after your close brush with suffocating in the water. And so you're not quite as sure-footed as you'd hope, and you're not able to find a good place to mask your presence. Nargith, if you can roll well enough, you might be able to make up for Valen's roll here and give you guys a fighting chance at not being noticed, assuming anything heads your way. Let's see what you roll for stealth here. It's not a very stealthy group, but we're making it. Ooh, an 8. So I will say you guys settle in near a bit of debris. You're very much exposed here, especially Nargith, Valen. You two have much larger frames compared to Yancifer, and it's hard to mask your presence with such sparse cover. Nonetheless, you all are able to take your short rest, and as you wait, your eyes vigilant towards the watery curtain that divides this arid expanse and the water of the ocean beyond, remembering that is where the depths agents came from before. You're keeping your eye out for that, and you don't see anything. So I will allow everyone to short rest. How many hit die are we spending each? Yancifer, let me know. I guess all of you can let me know out of order. We'll spend our hit die and see how well we can recover. May not be very stealthy, but maybe what's really needed is just a bit of hard-earned sleep without any any worries. Hey guys, this seems good right here. So Valen rolled a 12. It was 2d12, so that's 2 hit dice Valen is rolling. That's a good point. You guys can, if you would like, just spend the hit dice. That's 2 dice, and your con mod is +3. So that's 18 hit points total that you were healed over the short rest, bringing you almost to max with 44. What are the rest of you thinking? Yancifer and Nargith, how we looking for rolls on those hit dice? How healthy you think you need to be for this next stint of the journey? And for those of you unfamiliar, when you use the roll command for just regular dice rolls, you can put it in a whole dice equation. So If you want to add your con mod for me and be nice so I don't have to do math, you
Nargith
can do
uses
that too.
3 dices and bite one of the tentacles the group is carrying, swearing revenge.
Okay. Nargith, your hit dice are D10s. So you're going to roll 3d10 plus 6. Looks like... Oh. What did XIVM roll here? That's 2d6 plus 4. Thank you for the added modifier there. That's 12 points of healing going to Yansfer. You are easily at full. And Tiago, you're going to roll 3d10 plus 6. Sorry, yeah, 3d10 plus 6 to see how many hit points you're getting back. As you bite down on this tentacle, I may have you make a separate check here. Okay. 12 points to Nargith as well. 12's all around. Love to see it. As you are now near to full, you are at 33 hit points. As your rest comes to a close, you bite down on this tentacle, hoping that even though it's no longer connected to this evil being, Zealous, perhaps they may still feel the pain as the tentacle does instinctively, reflexively wriggle under your bite. I'm going to have you make a con save. So exclamation point R, con save.
Valen watches Narragath and his calamari, wondering if it's a good idea.
Alexandre, you are now role-playing as Valen, as Russell Mooney finishes a very successful stint as our muscle mommy barbarian. Ooh. Tiago with a 5 con save. As you bite down into this tentacle, it wriggles, and one end of it actually leaps up and slaps you in the face. You're going to take 1 point of bludgeoning damage and another point of poison damage. So 2 points of damage for your act of defiance. I think it was probably worth it. I think that was fine. It's definitely not going to come down to 2 hit points at any point. As you all complete your rest, the city remains silent. It's only been about an hour since Aruvi left. You don't know how regularly these depths agents carry their palanquin of water to the tentacles that they are seeking to replenish, but you imagine that it's at least regular enough that you should get moving. What is everyone doing? What would everyone like to do, rather? Magical love scan. Yeah, someone forgot that tentacles of love are poisonous. Yeah. We haven't seen much of the poison damage in the combats, nor have we seen much of.
I'd like to keep moving,
other
but
kind of
scan
damage
for
they
some
can do.
market stalls or something. We
Okay.
should buy some stuff.
That is a great idea, Valen. And I'll say, since you were the one to sort of speak up and begin moving forward, you're going to make the perception check for the group. So roll a perception check and see how well you might be able to find a market stall or street vendor of some kind. We shall see exactly what lies ahead. Perhaps the city is teeming with life, despite what you've heard. Use magical eyes. Yeah. Let me see how many uses are left for that. Oh, yeah. You haven't used one. So if you would like to use magical awareness to scout out any potentially magical objects, you can do that. You will use the same perception check. Looks like an 8 on perception there. Not terrible, but, might be something you miss. So, as the three of you begin to move forward cautiously, carefully, you wander into the streets of Nerethys. The weight of history presses in with more pressure than the leagues of ocean above you. Barnacle-bitten homes stand silent, their coral work flaking in brittle ribbons. Bones lie half buried beneath fallen stones. Bone-white tendrils cling to the crumbling arches like ivy drained of life. This city, you gather, is very much as abandoned as you were informed. You see no signs of life aside from those chilling bone-white tentacles, which they themselves do appear to be maybe not quite alive. What would you all like to do now that you're here seeing these sights, feeling these feelings? Could be tough going through this city, but you at least know the way you're supposed to travel.
I'd like to detect evil.
Okay. And I'll remind myself here. Your divine sense. I'm assuming you mean your divine sense. Let's see. Sorry, they slightly changed it. I just want to make sure it covers. Where do they hide it? There it is. Celestials, fiends, and undead are what you're able to detect. So you say a prayer to your goddess, the goddess of fire that has given you life, given you power, even this far beneath where Fathom told you they could not hear your prayers. And they do return a bit of divinity. You feel your senses expand. You do not sense any undead, fiends, or celestials within the 60-foot range. Now, this is active for 10 minutes, so that could change. But you feel that you are at least mostly alone here.
I don't know how this role-playing works, but I do like to pick up a bone. It will serve as a reminder of the terror that spreads here. Maybe it can serve us later or enchanting a dagger out of bone.
That's not a bad idea at all, Alexandre. As you pick up a bone, easy enough, you maybe look it over, and I'm going to have you make a medicine check for me to see how well you can place the age of the bone, maybe the fate that befell the previous owner of this bone. And this does fit with Valen's character so far. They do have the criminal background, and they have some pickpocket skills with thieves' tools and sleight of hand. So definitely a little bit of a klepto there. MEDICINE. I was like, man, why does that look weird? Why can't I spell medicine? So roll that one more time for me. Unfortunately, if you misspell, the system is not quite smart enough to pick up on that. That might be a feature for later streams. Why not chop off one of those white tentacles? That's not a bad idea, Andres. Well, it could be a bad idea. Well, we'll have to see. Okay, Alexandre, with a 13, you begin looking at the bone, and you can tell at least that it was submerged in water for a long period of time before being dried out. As you lift it, it actually begins to crumble in your grasp. You're able to keep it mostly in one piece, but areas of it have sort of caved into the hollow area that bone marrow normally would be. You can tell that this is ages old. Were it not left sort of untouched in this city, it might have even fossilized to some degree. It's very, very old. But with a 13, you're not able to tell exactly what killed this individual, what fate they met. Is there anything anyone else is doing within this mysterious city of Nerethys now that you've traveled into the place that is really why you set out on this adventure in the first place? Oh, if your patron could see you now, they would marvel at the secrets you've dredged up. I diagnosed this bone with dead. Absolutely. Okay. So the three of you continue to trek onwards, continuing to see many of the same sights, some structures more dilapidated than others, some of these white veined tendrils a bit more, we'll say, thick than others. And as you get a little bit closer, you begin to hear a sound, even with an 8. Because the town, the city, is so quiet, you hear sort of a soft sloshing and the dull clink of a carried vessel. What are you all doing here in the middle of the pathway, the one main pathway of the city, as you hear someone approaching from the rear? Congratulations, you now have a Nerethys fossil. Would you like to go to the fossil lab to revive it? Please don't.
We should try to hide.
I think that's a good idea, Yancifer. As you call out to your allies, I will take that as your own initiative into hiding. Not literal initiative, but I'm going to have you roll another stealth check. Let's see if we can outdo ourselves from last time. As you rush into one of the dilapidated structures, one of the few that still has a roof over it, you reach the inside, hoping that it will shield you from any prying eyes.
Stealth.
Nargolith, being super stealthy, also tries to hide.
Stealth! Yes, absolutely. So then we'll go down the line for sure. Yancifer, yeah. Thank you. Okay, a 9, another not so great roll. You know what? Go ahead and re-roll it. And I'm sorry for making you burn an extra use, but I feel like with the cover you have, you should have advantage. And Nargith as well. All of you should have advantage on this. So if you do roll again, do Yancifer and Nargith, you'll do straight rolls, but you got it. That's fine. You got me this time, XIVM. Andres, you are now piloting Yancifer, who has rolled a 19 on stealth. Bacon and Vodka piloting Nargith. Go ahead and roll stealth one more time for me. I'm giving you all advantage because you do have a lot of cover now. Not so much a straight roll this time. This is one of those times that you wish the redeem feature worked on this campaign. I'm thinking about making something like that work, especially as we see more and more people watching the stream. Welcome in, 25 viewers. This might be one of the higher viewerships we've had for Deaths of Nerethys. No worries, XIVM. So, Nargith, you're going to re-roll that stealth check for me. Bacon and Vodka, give me one more stealth roll. And Valen, Alexandre, if you want to do !R stealth ADV, all of you are getting advantage because you have a much more robust amount of cover in this area. Oh, that did not get much better for you, unfortunately. Just a bit. But it could be that Valen kind of rounds things out here and helps you. Ooh, a 10. Okay, we're going to do contested rolls. We're going to see how well this goes for all of you.
Yancifer, as a shadow sharkling, dives into a shadowed pocket created by the crumbling ruins. The shadows themselves seem to ripple like water.
Now, I just rolled a couple of perception checks, and I'm not going to tell you the results of them. I took a picture just in case any of you want to join our Discord. I'll post the proof later. But for right now, I think I'm going to leave you guys on a bit of a cliffhanger. We're going to take a quick break. And when we return, you are not going to want to miss what's coming. So don't go nowhere. We'll see you in a bit. Bye.
Alex?
Oh, terribly sorry. I didn't know anyone would be here while the stream was running. Give me a moment to tidy up. It's much better. Well, while you're here, we might as well take a moment to thank all of our members for supporting the channel and bringing this stream to life. A huge thanks to Tides of Mo, Tabletop Beard, Grim Reaper, Atmos Seeker, Justinian of Darkport, Angel Jobert,
I am scared to speak.
Angel of Darkport, Brett Venable, Dutin 103, Zebek Longfang, Lil Tired, Memebot 69,000, XIVM, Jason Miller, Corey of Darkport, Devin Beard, Wilfredo Figueroa, Ruby Rod, Sam Huffpower, Daniel Struve, Agile Monk, Moon Goose McQueen, Jude Eshett, Drazadi, Malice, Russell Mooney, Gatorman, Butterknife, Witcherall, Almighty Zeus, Saint, D.I. Block, Matt Susan, Evan Aristogabe, Kevin Hyatt, Charlie Gardner, Brendan Sparrow, Black Retro, Tunok, Lions, Masquax, Chris G, Jerome Grant, The Best or Die Trying, The Joyous Goose, Liquid Saber, Defiant Chaos, T-Dog, Lothos Carpathia, Jesse's Brick Galaxy, Dog, Tiago Livas, Trevor Neal, Blaine Dexter, D'Angelo Barton, Devo Amu, BFG, Tampton Tonda, Bardic Agra, Mark Nygaard, Edward Heller, Logan Keller, Bartholomew, Ira Wing, Tracy Pudol, Bacon and Vodka, Jay-Z Chisler, Misfit, Monster's Mother, JDL Him, Kathy Evans, Lil Cute Maple, Adam, Mike G, Joshua Hammond, The Azure Sky, Ashicle, Christopher Denault, Jason 96, Joshua Kato, Harry Dawn, Camo Camry, Rayan Harris, Triforce Samurai, Alexandre Henriquez, Mr. Nobu, Joe Zielbauer, Storytime with Knuckles, Cabbage Cat, Zeb Winkler, Martin Webb, J.O. Hurd, Ty Truerock, Mr. Gieta, Daniel Martin, Darth Goose, Rensler, Licks the Brute, HD Siles, Rub My Beard, Ninja King, Fables D20, Ken Robinson, Shibnap Sin, Joseph Agili, KCC, The Rawan Portal, BD, Pluck, Manny S, Rain Black, and Licia Harding. You know, members get tons of unique benefits as well, like these weekly shoutouts and emojis that they can use in the stream chat, and a heaping helping of chaos points that can be used to, well, perhaps it's better to show you.
Welcome to Constructed Chaos, a D&D live play channel where you get to control the game. Join us on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Central Time for our in-person live stream that allows you to influence our adventures in major ways. From alternate plot points to rerolls to absolute chaos. And tune in on Mondays at 7 for our brand new Chat Plays D&D format where you get to roll the dice and pilot the characters themselves straight from the live stream chat. And between it all, there's tons of homebrew content and guides that we release every single month. So be sure to subscribe to the channel. And until next time, go out there and make some chaos.
Greetings, viewers. Bramble Backfoot hopping by to let you know about our monthly homebrew packets issued to all those brave enough to join the ranks of our prestigious order. With a plethora of items, monsters, mechanics, and more, it's easier than ever to bring chaos home to your table. So become a member and let's fight the forces of evil together.
Thank you, you're all too kind, and the drinks are on me tonight! Ha 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 ha! Oh, you must not have enabled gifted memberships! Let me show you how. Ha 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 ha! What you'll want to do is make your way over to our channel page and then add /allow_gifts. From there, you can turn on the toggle for free stuff and join in the chaos. Ha 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 ha! Now for my next tune, a little ditty about a dead necromancer named Pinky.
Hello, Drazad here. Oh my god, you have got to come check out all of our wares. We have so many different things. Help support the stream and get yourself some new magic items as well over at the Constructed Chaos store.
Greetings to all my bearded brothers out there. I'm Alex, also known as Constructed Chaos on YouTube, and I'm here today to tell you a little bit about my friends over at Tabletop Beard. This family-owned beard oil company is run by three brothers that have combined two great loves of mine. tabletop RPGs and beard care. And it makes a lot of sense because, as I'm sure many of you know, growing and maintaining a healthy beard can be an adventure all its own. I started my quest back before I was even on YouTube, and I guess you could say I was stuck at level 1 for a while, constantly itching my way through life with a wild and unkempt beard and just trusting hairspray and regular shampoo to get the job done. Believe me, I was rolling nat 1s on just about every charisma check I made at that point. But eventually I started trying various beard care products like oils, butters, and balms, and I found some that worked well enough, but none of them really tied into my backstory. Not to mention my wife was constantly complaining about the smell. Then I was put on to the products from Tabletop Beard, and let me tell you, it was a match made in heaven. Or hell, depending on what kind of flavor you prefer. These guys use a premium oil blend of meadow foam seed, rosehip, golden jojoba, argan, avocado, and sunflower oils to create the most high quality product that contains no cheap filler or artificial oils that you typically want to steer clear of. And each scent has been expertly crafted and matched to a familiar TTRPG style, so you know exactly the kinds of vibes you're putting out without the scents being too mundane or too overpowering. To top it off, all their products, oils, butters, and balms are made in small batches, so the quality control is top-notch, and so is the customer service. They're always looking for new ways to meet and exceed customer needs, and I've even heard that they have some new ideas cooking up behind the scenes. So consider this your session 0 and take some time to check out Tabletop Beard today. Truly, they're the only starting equipment that you need for your own successful beard care journey. Bear Dritz here, letting you in on a little-known ranger secret that'll keep you satiated in the wild, even when you have no rations left. Ew, not that. I'm talking about subscribing to the channel and hitting that bell icon. It's easy to miss the signs of a stream going live if you're not prepared. So make sure to do that and... What was that?
I fit the battle if Jericho, or so I'm told.
Hold it right there, adventurer. We're looking for some deviants that refuse to like this video while they're still watching. You wouldn't happen to know anything about this heinous crime, would you? Well then, as you were, but stay out of trouble.
It appeared out of thin air when they found it, as if by the will of the plains themselves. A curious and mysterious bauble that has turned up time and time again throughout the ages. Some have studied it all their lives, hoping to unravel its uniquely fascinating magical properties. Many more have used its power for their own, though all falling victim to fate in the end. Now, it calls to you, by chance, by destiny, by desire, it matters not. It calls to you, and it calls to be cast from your palm, so that it might deliver unto you the unknown wonders held within.
How much longer are they going to... Oh! excuse me. Are they still not back? Wait there just a moment. I'll fetch them for you. The little chaos gremlins. You have people waiting, you know!
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you had a great break. Some of you went and checked our Discord to see what those dice rolls were, but for those of you who won't, I'll leave you in the dark for just a moment here. As we rejoin our adventurers, now crouched behind a crumbling door frame, waiting for what may be rounding the bend in the spiral way. As they turn the corner, you spy another group of Depths cultists bearing a large palanquin, much like the one before. Upon it, a large vessel sloshes with seawater. Is there anything in particular you all are doing in this moment as they approach? Let me know if you change your minds, but I will take your silence as silence. The cultists continue to march forward until they come to a militant halt in an impressive lockstep without any audible communication. Slowly, they lower the palanquin near one of the pale tendrils before approaching the vessel and tilting it. They carefully pour the contents over a withered tentacle coiled like rope around a shattered pillar. The very moment the water touches it, its flesh twitches, bubbles, flexes, and then snaps to life. With a violent surge, the tentacle lashes out, impaling one bearer and crushing another against the stone. The others don't scream. They only bow low, whispering reverently, as the pale limb continues to writhe wildly. You watch as this disgusting ritual unfolds. The newly awakened tentacle thrashes and uncoils, slamming into walls and dragging the water bearers even closer. Why? Why? That was weird. I don't know what happened there, but then a sudden
From the
gust.
safety of the rippling shadows, I use minor illusion to have the shadows extend and slowly engulf a withering tentacle in black far, far away from you.
Okay, you extend your hand to cast this spell. As darkness encircles the area, you suddenly feel a gust tearing through the ruined corridor, scattering silt and nearly forcing you into view. You're able to get your darkness up, so you hide yourself, but this gale is forcing you from your hiding spot. I'm going to have everyone make a strength saving throw to resist it, if you want to resist it. If not, just let me know. But Yansfer, I'll have you roll a strength save first. So, exclamation point R, STR, save. I wonder what may have happened there. It's weird. It's weird that something just popped up for a minute. I don't know what that was. So, looks like on the strength save, Andres, you got a 10. So, as this wind... Yes, you got it right, Ira. That's correct. That's what you'll type in. Exclamation point R, STR, save. Valen, let's see your strength save here.
Nargareth stands up and calls to my party. Perhaps today is a good day to die.
Nargith, I take that as you welcoming this gust with open arms as you are drawn out into the open just as the darkness descends. Alexandre, you are able to hold your ground against this gust for a moment, but it intensifies as if someone is willing for you to intervene in this dark ritual. The three of you are now thrown into the street, and as the darkness begins to descend, the cultists whip around, their eyes empty, yet somehow locked onto you. The tentacle, untethered by loyalty, surges again, now a threat to all of you. I'm going to have us roll
then
for
it is
initiative.
a good day to die. I pull my morning star and cleave the group.
Sounds like a plan here. As we now are going to roll for initiative. Our second initiative for the night. I'm going to have a look at our combat scenario here. As the three of you have been pushed out into the open. Let me brighten this up a little bit for everyone. Yancifer, go ahead and roll your initiative first for me, and Valen, you'll go next. There we go. That's a little better. I'm going to darken that now. Sorry, just cinematographer things. I'm so weird about it looking good. So it's going to be exclamation point R initiative. Alexandre. Andres. And then Alexandre. Ooh, nice initiative. A 20 for Alexandre. For Valen. As it now is pitched over to Saft for the first time this night. Saft, welcome in. You're piloting Valen with a 20 initiative.
FIBE Valen.
Fine. Yancifer helps as she shoots out SA Shadow Flame Shame Shark that absorbs all heat from what it touches. Ray of Frost.
Nice. So that sounds like that'll probably be your first round. Let's get our initiative rolled first. Go ahead and roll initiative for me, Andres, and then we're going to get it from Bacon and Vodka on Nargith. And I will not forget this time, Nargith, you will have advantage on initiative. Andres, a 17. Very nice. And so, Nargith, exclamation point R, initiative ADV is what you'll roll. That'll roll 2 dice and factor it in for you, giving you the result in the chat. Very fancy. What are we going to get to round this out? I got a 17 and a 20 so far. Pretty dang good. Bacon and Vodka, you there? I'm going to give you just a little bit more time before I pitch this over to somebody else. Chat is waiting in the wings. I did catch it, Tides. Thank you. I got it this time. All right, Bacon and Vodka. I'm going to pass it off in 3, 2, 1. Okay. Who is piloting Nargith now? Alexandre, welcome in as Nargith. You just left Valen's Hollow Husk. I will also need you to roll Nargith's initiative. You're going to do exclamation point R initiative ADV. Technically, Valen had initiative too, but you got a 20. It's fine. Tears of loneliness. Yeah, Mabel could roll initiative. She could definitely help out. Oh my gosh, 2 2s. The luck did not hold. But it's okay. We have some very good initiative rolls to start here. However, the individual in this combat that is going first is actually none of you and none of the cultists. It is instead the tendril writhing behind them. As it whips out, it is going to try and connect with one of the cultists, just sort of indiscriminately attacking. The darkness, I'm going to say, is active. So you are concentrating, Yancifer, on your darkness spell. And so this tendril is going to have disadvantage on this. With disadvantage, they still hit, dealing 10 damage to one of the cultists and grappling them. You see no hint of worry in their stare as they are ensnared by this tentacle and drug in close. Seeing that this tentacle could even be used as somewhat of an ally, we move to Valen. Piloted by Saft, let me know what Valen is doing here as initiative springs forward. Yancifer, you're going to be on deck, so be thinking about what you want to do too. Sorry, Bacon and Vodka. It might be on a big delay on your end. Sometimes I notice it does like skip behind if you're not careful. You may need to
I
tap
rage
the
and
live
I cleave at the
icon.
tendril.
Okay. Cleave at the tendril. Okay, so you're raging. Now, darkness is up, which means you kind of know approximately where everyone is before that darkness goes up, but it's still going to be hard to attack in said darkness. Now, as you rage, you are a wild magic barbarian. I have not forgotten. I'm going to have you roll a d8 for me, and we're going to see what sort of chaotic madness springs forth from your feature. Let's see. It's just exclamation point R D8, and that'll tell us everything we need to know. A 6? I don't think we've had a 6 yet. Until your rage ends, you are surrounded by multicolored protective lights. You gain a +1 to AC, and while within 10 feet of you, your allies gain the same bonus. That is an incredible ability as light begins to envelop your body, somewhat penetrating the darkness just enough so that you can see your two allies are gaining some of the same benefits while they remain within 10 feet of you. You feel emboldened to charge in, as you so often do as a barbarian, and begin wrecking shop. We do know the approximate location of the tentacle, and you do have 30 feet of movement. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you're able to get in range of the tentacle. We'll say as you get close, you can hear the tentacle slamming into things. You can feel sort of some of the debris even pelting your face. You know it is right in front of you, but you can't see it. So you can make an attack. It will be at disadvantage unless you choose to reckless attack, in which case it will be a straight roll for you. But as you well know, that does come with some potential downsides in the future. So enter at your own risk. What do we got? What are we thinking, Valen? You're going to roll? If you want to roll just straight, if you want to roll at disadvantage, do exclamation point R, STR, attack, DIS. If you want a reckless attack, just take the DIS off of that and type that equation into chat. I have not found a way to make that shorter, unfortunately. Yeah, YouTube does just get a little weird sometimes with the live. So sorry in advance if sometimes we need to swap people out from characters. A 20? All right, looks like a reckless attack it is, and a 20 is definitely going to hit as you bring your Morning Star to bear and swing in front of you, just knowing in your heart of hearts that you are going to connect with this creature. And sure enough, you hear that wet thud as you connect with it, and it goes reeling. You are going to deal 1d8 plus 5 damage. So exclamation point R, 1d8 plus 5, and that should determine how much damage you're dealing to this thing. as you pull back your Morning Star, and it's full of this nasty, milky, sort of blood-like substance. 9 points of damage, not too shabby. As the creature now writhes even more wildly than before, you look into the darkness, knowing what awaits you there, and somewhat unsettled by the fact that you can't see it. But now it is Yancifer's turn, and Yancifer is able to see just fine in your own darkness. So you're going to get some advantages all your own, depending on what you'd like to do, Andres. Let me know.
The shadow flame shark that Yancifer unleashed when she was pulled out of her shadow swims around, and after Valen turned the ground, it swims through into a crystal icy sheen, frozen solid and bright.
Okay. So that's your ray of frost as you send this sort of shadow flame shark that swims beneath the silt floor and pops up. Who are you sending that at? I don't think we got that information. Is that going towards one of the cultists, or is that going towards the tendril there? Looks like I managed to drain the battery on one of these lights already. That didn't take long. What do you think, Andres? I didn't miss it, did I? Is it going towards the tendril or one of the cultists? And if one of the cultists, let me know which. Keep in mind that one of them is restrained by the tendril. You already have advantage, but you may be able to, fell them more quickly. Oh, your TV had a 1-minute delay. That's interesting. I typically watch streams on my computer or on my phone, and so I did everything I could to get this as low latency as possible. For the most part, it should be about 2 to 3 seconds of latency, but sometimes 10 to 15 seconds is too much for us to be able to wait. We got to keep things moving. What do you think?
The shadow flame shark of frost leaps out of the ground and bites the tendril, attempting to freeze it into the ground and deprive it of moisture.
Very smart. Very clever. Okay, so you're going to make an attack roll at advantage, I believe, for Ray of Frost. Let me double check that, just in case I'm wrong, because I've been wrong before. Yes. So you're going to type !R CHA attack ADV. And that should give you advantage. Add in your modifiers. A nice hefty +7 to that attack roll. Fortunately, you guys are still level 4, so no damage boost on that Ray of Frost just yet, but it's coming. If you survive, that is. 24 is most certainly going to hit. Go ahead and roll 1d8 for your cold damage, as indeed the shark now grips the tendril and ices over its base as its speed is reduced by 10 feet until the start of your next turn. Roll that d8. Let's see how much damage it's taken. You guys are very quick to fell this thing. 6. Nice on a d8. As your ice shark bites into it, you can see now that the tentacle is continuing to writhe, and you see once again that that cultist is restrained by it. So you maybe even nudge Nargith before they're allowed to move, and let them know that striking out at that restrained cultist might be the easiest way to offset the darkness that you've put into play. But at the end of your turn, it is now the cultist's turns. This one that is restrained is going to try to make an attack on Valen, actually. They're going to do so at disadvantage. Technically, they're going to be sharing the same space as the tendril. But I would say your characters definitely take note that it is not attacking the tendril that is trying to kill it. That is a 14 to hit, Valen. And you have a +1 to AC. I don't know what your normal AC is. It's normally 14. So, as your your instincts begin to fail you in this darkness. You feel the swing of a scimitar through the air in front of you, and you're just a little slow to react as it peels away at some of that light and magic that is washed over your body and protects you from this attack. You are able to keep just out of range. They have 2 attacks, so they're going to make another. And that's going to miss way more. As you know where the attack is coming from now, you anticipate it. You feel the wind on your cheek before that scimitar is able to kiss along the side of your face. You back up, ducking out of the way, and it swings wide as the tendril continues to drag this cultist every which way. The other cultist knows roundabout where you all were located, but doesn't know exactly, as they are going to take out a crossbow. Yancifer, you see this, and they're going to target where Nargith was, because they saw where that darkness came from. And that's actually going to be a straight roll, because you're both blinded. And that is a 21 to hit on the first attack. So Nargith, as this other cultist you can't see, makes an attack against you, you just feel a sharp pain.
Swap me for someone else, please. Still working on my connection.
Oh, gotcha. Roger that, bacon and vodka. Swapping out. Let's see who's going to pilot Yancifer instead. Looks like XIVM is back in the hot seat. But Nargith, as you feel this piercing pain in your shoulder, as it is a bolt has wedged itself in between 2 gaps in your plate, you are going to take 7 points of slashing damage and 2 points of psychic damage. So 9 points total on Nargith here from that one attack. They're going to make another. That will hit as well. So you're going to take 18 points total from these 2 bolts as you feel searing pain rippling through your body, and then a somewhat telling dizziness as you now fall to just 13 hit points in this first round of combat. We move beyond the depths turns, and it is now your turn, Nargith. Your turn for revenge, your turn to strike. You recall hearing from Yancifer that one of these cultists is still restrained, and you may be able to get a straight roll off against them. But you're not entirely sure where they're located. You'll need to charge ahead on their last known position, hopefully to find them. So let me know what you want to do there, Nargith. It's like Alexandre in the hot seat there. You've been doing really great, by the way, man. I know you were worried because it was your first time. J. O'Hearn, it's not tombstone time just yet. We're not dead just yet. We're all right. We're making it. We might live. We've been in tighter spots than this. Andre says to target the tentacle. It is what they are protecting. That's a good point. It's a good point. But on the
damn, I move closer to them, and I want to smite that cultist if I can.
That's a good idea. Andres, I was about to say, honestly, I think targeting all of them somewhat equally. This is one of the only times that I feel like don't want to focus everything down, just because that tendril seems to be like it's just attacking everything, and it might end up helping you out. Nargith, as you close on the cultists, once again, you can hear them swinging through the atmosphere. You can't see them, but you know they're restrained, and you know roundabout where they are. As you hear dogs barking in the distance, it throws off your senses. If you guys want, you can type pups !pups in the chat to learn about our doggos. But Alexandre, I'm gonna have you type !R STR attack. You're gonna get a straight roll on this cultist because they are restrained, and even though you're blinded, you know roundabout where they are. Let's see if you can land this attack on them as you close on your enemy, somewhat protecting your friend Yancifer behind you. 20 on, sorry, not 20 on the die. 15 plus 5, 20 will definitely hit this cultist. As you said, you're going to divine smite them. I'm going to have you roll let's see, that's 3d8 plus 5. So exclamation point R, 3d8 plus 5, and we're going to see exactly how much damage you're about to deal to this poor cultist that is just being flailed around every which way. Ragdolled here. Very nice. 23 points of damage, a whopping sum, as this cultist is now bloodied, but still up. Being that is probably the end of your turn, let me know if you want to do anything else, but we are going to move back to the top of initiative with the tendril. And this cultist is still in its clutches. It is going to make an attack roll at advantage on the same one. You're about to see exactly what these things are able to do when they hang on to their prey. I just rolled 2 natural 20s. I'm taking another picture of that and posting that in the Discord now. Holy hell. You guys are lucky that was not against you. You know
Can
what?
I lay hands on self?
Lay on hands on self is fine, but you guys only short rested earlier. I don't believe you get those lay on hands back just yet. So you are out of lay on hands for the moment. You may be able to use some a bit later once you've long rested, but not just yet. As this tendril rolls 2 natural 20s on advantage, we're just going to say this cultist is gone. As it grips them at the midsection, and you see their eyes sort of rolling back in their head, there's a high-pitched whine that ripples through the air of this underwater city. As all of you get a somewhat slight headache just being in proximity of this, their head explodes as the cultist is dropped to the ground. No more. They are gone. As we move on to Valen, around the back of this tendril, you know at least that one of the cultists has been felled because you heard that loud ringing and a pop as blood has spattered across your senses. The tendril still rides in front of you. That is easy enough to see. But what would you actually like to do on your turn? Yancifer, be thinking yourself. You are on deck here. So, Saft, let me know what Valen is going to be doing with their turn, as one of the cultists has been felled. You're still somewhat blinded, and you are giving a bit of aid to your ally Nargith, who is closed in. We'll say they're within 10 feet of you, so they've got some extra AC as well. We like it. We like it. Tentacles need to be severed and added to our collection. Absolutely, Andres.
Always reckless attack smash tendril with Morningstar.
Always. Then in that case, roll the same thing you did last turn. That's going to be exclamation point R, STR, attack. It will still be a straight roll, even with reckless, just because of that darkness, but it seems to be paying off so far. Hasn't quite hindered you guys as much as I thought it might. 18 on the die for a 23. That will definitely hit. Go ahead and roll 1d8 plus 5 to see how much damage you deal this round. Oh, and technically you have the sap property, which I forgot about, but that's fine, because it only attacked the cultist. This tendril is now sapped as well, with 7 points of damage coming out from our barbarian here. It's not a great roll on the D8 there, but it'll do. It'll do. The tentacle is not yet bloodied. It actually looks like it's still going strong. Whatever they poured over it, whether it was just plain salt water or some other mixture, seems to be revitalizing it in earnest. Valen, let me know if there's anything else you'd like to do, but if not, we're going to move on to Yancifer. So XIVM, let me know what Yancifer does, as you can see quite clearly that there is one cultist remaining and a tendril that's been dealt quite a bit of damage. You did Ray of Frost it last turn. But it is not yet bloodied. Still hanging on. Tiago, yes, we did get the wild magic.
TREMORSENSE, Alex.
Ooh, Tremor Sense. Thank you. Yes, I will do that. Sorry. Did I miss that last turn? Maybe I just didn't hear you guys. That's my fault if so. But I will go ahead and activate Tremor Sense. That's a great use of that feature.
Magic Missile, 2nd level at Tentacle.
Okay. 2nd level Magic Missile coming out from Yancifer now. As you are down to just 1 2nd level spell slot remaining, but this auto hits, as you well know. You're going to deal 4d4 plus 4 damage to this tentacle. All force damage, of course, as you extend your hand and you know magic flows from it. You yourself can see it, but nothing else can. It's unsettling as these dark streaks hide within the dark atmosphere that you've created for yourself, striking out against your foe with 14 points of force damage. If this tendril was not bloodied before, it certainly is now. As each of your magic missiles finds purchase, the tendril writhes more wildly, now spurting an assortment of ichor and juices into the atmosphere, spraying your nearby friends with some foul-smelling stuff. Is there anything else you'd like to do with your turn before we pass things over to the cultists? Well, at least the one that isn't head blown up. Popped, I'll say. While you think on it, we're going to move to the...
I am done.
Okay, we're going to move to the other cultist, who now has sensed Nargith closing on the tendril. Sort of focusing fire. They're going to turn and make 2 attacks. Again, this will be straight roll because Nargith can't see here. That is a 7 on the die, and that's certainly not going to hit, especially not with the extra 1 AC you're getting from Valen. We're going to roll another attack as he whips that scimitar around a second time. A natural 1 as it clangs off of your armor. You actually hear the scimitar embed into the silt as it is driven from his hand briefly. You don't know if they're able to pick it up just yet, but we are now going to move to your turn, Nargith. You know there's a cultist next to you, and you know there's a tendril just in front of you, but you are still otherwise blinded within this darkness. What would you like to do? Valen, be thinking what you'd like to do. You're not quite at the top of initiative, but you will be the next one to go. What do we got, Alexandre? What are we thinking? So many enemies, so little time. Oh, man. This is a good session. Thank you guys so much for joining us. There are 38 people here in the chat tonight. If you guys want to jump in on the action, go ahead and type !roleplay into the chat. That will opt you into the system. And then from there, it's pretty much free to play unless you've got 400 chaos points.
Attacks. I almost rage casting Thunderous Smite on him. Calling on my oath, I cast it and scream, D-I-I-I-I-I-I-I-I-E.
Okay, Alexandre, you are going to !R, STR attack DIS. You are at disadvantage. Oh, no, sorry. It is a straight roll. Don't DIS. Don't add that DIS. So, !R, STR, attack. The DIS would be if they could see, but they cannot. They are blind in this darkness, as are you, and you're swinging blindly against them. But there is thunder in your weapon. So at 11, might seem like it's not enough to hit, but as you bring your weapon down, you find purchase, and the blade erupts in a thunderous boom, rippling through the chamber. I believe they need to make a strength save. I'm going to double check that just to make sure I don't get it wrong. Once again, lots of spells changed in 2024. Yes, it is a strength save from this target, and they are going to fail terribly with a 3 on the die. You are going to roll 1d8 plus 2d6 plus 5 for your damage here. See how much they're taking, but they are going to be driven back from you and knocked prone. I'll go ahead and move them now. Nice, 12 points of damage. That's not it's not great rolls on the dice, but it is good, solid damage nonetheless. As you find purchase and that boom ripples through the city, you feel their presence driven from you as you hear their skin grating against the silt floor and slamming into a stone tile. We now move from your turn back to the Tendril's turn, and they no longer have any cultists to pick on. And one thorn in their side has been dealing a lot of damage to them. They're going to turn towards Valen, and they're going to attack straight roll, because it would have been an advantage because of Reckless. But
I'd like to flavor this, making myself surrounded by lightning, just for flavor.
Yeah, lightning begins to crackle around you. You know it's there, and Yancifer knows it there, and that's all that matters. The Tendril is sapped, so it has disadvantage. It also has disadvantage because of the dark, but it would have advantage because of Valen's reckless attack. So it's going to be a straight roll as it lunges towards you. Valen, you feel the attack sweeping in, and you're able to lift your feet just in time, playing a bit of jump rope as it skids across the rock underneath you, missing with a 10. We now move to your turn, Valen. It is no longer sapped, so I'm going to remove the marker. But I have a feeling you're gonna land another attack on this thing. So let me know, Saft. What are you doing as Valen here in this moment? Having just dodged this tendril, hearing the smite of your ally, knowing that at least one of the cultists has been felled, you are left to ponder your own decision here. And Yancifer, you'll be on deck, so be thinking about what you want to do. Hey, you guys! Love me some Goonies. Classic Ira. You know, lightning instead of fire, even though they're a fire Goliath, I think fits with the thunderous smite. And also, I love incorporating lightning and fire together just because of like what happens with volcanic eruptions and the lightning all at the top. It's just cool to see, and it's just cool visually. I like that. I think that sort of it's got flavor of the wrath of the gods, you know. Valen does not have the Sentinel feat. They started. Oh wait, maybe they do. I think Valen does have the Sentinel feat. You guys added that, huh?
I'm instructing the next user reckless attack is one of the best barbarian features, and I will instruct the next person to please roll a reckless attack on the tendril for me. Thank you.
Looks like Tiago is now piloting Valen. You are perfectly within your rights to do whatever you please with Valen. But reckless attack is certainly one of the barbarian's best features. If you would like to use it now, you are still raging and this tendril is still writhing. But to clear things up in chat, Valen does not have Sentinel. They took an ability score improvement feat that last level. I did just double check. Oh, I see. You're choosing to reckless attack, so you're just going to roll, Tiago. Sorry.
Yup.
Oh. Tiago is in as Nargith. Valen is Andres. Sorry. Did I mix that up? Okay, so Andres, type !R STR attack ADV because you have tremor sense. You have advantage this time. Your tremor sense is up. You know exactly where this tendril is. Lots of variables for me to keep track of tonight. We're making it. Ooh, and you avoided a natural 1 with a 16 instead. As Valen, you swing your Morning Star, missing wide just barely. You redirect the attack and then bring it straight down on top of the tendril's tiny tip as it pulls back, almost yelping in response. I'm going to have you roll 1d8 plus 5 to see how much damage you deal to it this time, as it is once again sapped. Those weapon masteries coming into play tonight. See how much damage you're able to do. You may yet get out of this without so much of as a scratch.
I charge towards the tendrils.
All right, Tiago, we are a little ways away from Nargith's turn. That might be my fault for confusing the initiative there. But Valen, let me have you roll 1d8 plus 5 to see how much damage you're dealing to the tendril, so we can get to our good friend Nargith's turn as they rush the tendril in earnest and help you fell it. Alexandre, thank you so much. It is a lot to manage, but I enjoy it. I feel like I constantly have something to do.
You shall join our collection of love, remarks Valen as she strikes where Yansifer's shadow flame frost shark struck.
Nice. Seeing that open wound with your tremor sense, sort of letting that be your target instead of the tip of the tendril, you slam into it with your Morning Star, and we're going to see exactly how much damage you're doing to it. Yeah, still got that little bug with Chaos Bot. I'm not sure. I thought I fixed that, but that's fine. I don't think it's hurting anything right now. Thanks, Tides. All right, so 1d8 is a 5, and then plus 5, that's 10 points of damage against the tendril. It is still up and writhing. Yansifer, it is your turn. This tendril, you can tell, even at a distance, is just about done with. But there is still another enemy who is lying prone currently. A ranged attack would have disadvantage against them, even if you can see them. Or I guess it would be straight roll, because they can't see in your darkness. Darkness shenanigans, always fun. Always fun to try and keep track of. What would you like to do, Yansifer? And you guys have been so kind to me in chat as well. Anytime I miss something or mess things up, you're very quick to help me out, or just let it go. And I really appreciate the grace there. It is a lot to juggle, but we're making
Sorcerous Burst on Tentacle Acid.
Hell yeah. Sorcerous Burst is an attack roll, as you well know. So go ahead and make an attack roll at advantage. It's going to be !R CHA attack ADV. And I am pretty positive you're going to hit, but I rolled 2 nat 20s earlier. Could be 2 nat 1s heading your way. I don't want to put that into the universe, but I did do that to you, and I'm sorry.
Shadow Sharkling frees it. Valen yells as the tentacle screeches with an audible crack.
Valen is screaming at you to knock this tendril out of submission, into submission, as your Sorcerous Burst ripples through the air, carrying a wave of acid. It sprays onto the tendril, seeping into the wounds that you've already opened up. And I'm going to have you roll 1d8 to see how much damage you're able to deal to it. Let's see. This could do it in. But you gotta roll pretty well. Okay. 4 points of acid damage as that acid pours in, smoke pours out of the same open wounds. Its internal fluids are a mess over the silt floor, now being soaked into the sand beneath, but it is still up. As we move to the cultist's turn, they are going to stand up, disoriented, not sure where anything is, and they are just going to charge directly ahead, bumping into you, Nargith. I'm going to say because of this disorientation from your Thunderous Smite, their first attack, not both, but just their first, is going to have disadvantage on you. And that is a 13, which definitely misses. Second attack, now that they know roundabout where you are, is a straight roll because you're both blinded. And that's an 18 on the die plus 5, so that is going to hit you as you now take another 9 points total of damage, 7 points slashing and 2 points psychic as you feel that sort of latent energy leeching off of their blade and into your body. You fall to just 4 hit points now. Things are looking quite dire for Nargith at least, but it is your turn. So, Tiago, we know that you were planning on rushing the tentacle, but things have changed. So tell me if you change your mind at all. But for right now, I'm going to place you in range of the tendril because it does not, well, I guess they wouldn't make an opportunity attack on you anyway. That is true. So let me know, are you attacking the cultist or the tendril, Nargith? AKA Tiago. You guys are doing so great with this. I honestly expected this to be way more difficult than it has been. You're kind of crushing it. Very tactically sound. I like the darkness that you were able to deploy. Really cool stuff.
Nargoth seeks his revenge on the cultist, weapon glowing with holy light, and unleashes a devastating divine smite upon the enemy. Crossed swords, fire sparkles.
Crossed swords, fire sparkles. Go ahead and roll exclamation point R, STR, attack, in a straight roll. Yeah, so exclamation point R, STR, attack to see if you can hit this cultist that is closed on you and made the unfortunate decision to try and hit you again. A 14 is going to hit, and as you channel a bit of divinity into your divine smite, I'm going to have you roll 3d8 plus 5. That's your weapon damage and the smite damage all rolled into one. And I need to be marking off your spell slots. I haven't done that. So we use divine smite last, use divine smite here, and we use thunderous smite. This is your last smite, actually. I hate for you to find that out like that.
Cross swords, fire sparkles. What is that Goliath hunk mumbling about?
18 points of damage as for a brief moment, your divine smite lights up the area around you and you can see uplit the features of this cultist. You expect fear, anguish, pain, but instead you see nothing. You see a blank stare looking directly into your eyes and somehow beyond them. As they remain standing, even after your imposing attack, we move back to the tendril's turn, and you gotta know they're gonna be attacking the barbarian with a straight roll. That is a 15 to hit, which exactly hits, even with your extra 1 AC, so you are not escaping unscathed this day, barbarian. You are instead going to take 10 points of bludgeoning damage as you are grappled and restrained and apparently prone. Don't worry about that. We're going to get these rings to stay. Somehow. Aha, we did it. Just like a kickstand over there. So, Valen, you are raging, so that is going to be halved to 5, but you are taking some damage.
If the cultist fails a saving throw from topple from my lance, he is prone.
That is true. You have the longsword currently, and what is the longsword's property? Is it Vex? I think it's either Vex or possibly. Shoot, I can't remember what it was. Let me look it up real quick. Oh, it has sap. Got it. That's easy enough to remember. Thank you, chat, for keeping me honest there. Like I said, lots to juggle, but that cultist will have disadvantage on the next attack roll they make, which I think happened anyway last turn. So that works out. Valen, you are now grappled as the tendril wraps around your body, heaving you into the air, your legs kicking, trying to escape, but it holds you still. We now move to your turn. You are currently grappled and restrained by this tendril, but even lifted into the air, you can feel that it doesn't have the energy it had before. It is fading fast. It won't take much to end this creature. And it would be, for what it's worth, a straight roll, even though you're restrained, because of your tremor sense and the fact that it is in the dark. D&D rules are weird. If you'd like to attack it, it could be a straight roll for you. Yancifer, keep in mind you're on deck, so you'll be going next. What are you thinking, Andres? What do you got? And we're about to get something super flavorful. Hey, Jude! I just saw you in the chat there, man. Hey, Jude. I know you've never heard that before. Reckless attack actually would not make it advantage because even one source of disadvantage offsets a million advantages. It's unfortunate that it works that way, but that is true. So being restrained means that you have disadvantage on attack rolls. No, never heard it. First time, absolutely. What do you think, Andres? What do we got in store as you're lifted off the ground by this tendril and held aloft? It might think that it has you at a disadvantage, but you can sense that it is not long for this world.
Ugh, I know I am a bit of a hugger, but I am the lover here, tentacle of love. Be severed and let me love you in my collection. Valen grunts out as she swings her Morningstar in a backwards overhand.
Nice. As you swing almost a backstroke after learning how to swim last session, you swing that Morningstar. Go ahead and do !R STR attack. It is a straight roll here. And I'll save you some suspense. If you land this attack, that tentacle's gone, no matter what damage you deal. Did not have much left in it. Here we go. 20! 15 on the die, +5. We've been seeing a lot of those. As you connect with this tendril, you feel its grip loosen on you, going slack. You fall to the ground and are quick to get back up on your feet as this tendril is no more. You sense that it is actually in multiple pieces on the ground. With your tremor sense, you feel a bit of motion leaving the area as it recoils, and only the section of tentacle that you were fighting is left in its place, bloody on the ground. There's only one cultist remaining as we now circle to Yancifer's turn. What would you like to do, Yancifer? Andres is very focused on the tentacles. I'm beginning to worry they may be an avatar of Zealous. Could be. Maybe I am secretly sending messages to everyone that that pilots these characters and telling them what to do. Nah.
Sorcerous Burst Thunder.
Sorcerous Burst Thunder this time. Okay, make an attack roll at advantage. It's going to be !R CHA attack ADV. I'm getting good at saying that. And you guys are getting good at typing it. Thank you so much. As you ripple out a burst of thunder towards this enemy, 25 will certainly hit. As you connect, deal 1d8 damage, so it's going to be !R D8 to see how much damage you're dealing to this cultist, who doesn't look quite bloodied yet, surprisingly. Oh, no, they do. They are bloodied. That's my fault. I misremembered. 5 points of damage as the thunder ripples through the air, somewhat buffeting Nargith. Nargith, I imagine you actually swell with pride, feeling like maybe an echo off of your thunderous smite has just raced around the world and met up with you.
I quickly stuffed the now severed tentacle into the mysterious female barbarian storage space using her tremor sense. You don't belong to Zealous now.
You do get a free action, so you do that. Man, that loincloth of holding is really serving you well.
Boy.
Yancifer shouts that out as the thunder ripples across the way. The cultist is still standing, but not by much. As we move to their turn, they have disadvantage to hit Nargith, and is the only enemy they know is in proximity of them, so they strike. That is a 9 to hit.
Right,
That will
the lightning
miss.
pulls out of the surrounding Nargith and channels through Yancifer.
Nice.
Boom.
It's like sonic feedback. You guys are empowering each other as the second attack comes in at a straight roll. Natural 1. That's the second natural 1 they got, as they do actually drop their scimitar once again, unable to quite pick it up. We now move to your turn, Nargith, with just 4 hit points remaining. Tiago, let me know what Nargith is going to do in response to this cultist. Zoom in for the kill shot, potentially. There's no smites left, but you could do it here. And once again, Yancifer, Nargith got a up close and personal look of this earlier, but you're staring out from across the battlefield and you're seeing this cultist bleeding in gouts into the silt below, but they are unmoved, unfazed, and you are unsettled by it. What do you got, Tiago? I'll even face you towards the cultist. I imagine your armor might be a little rusty at this point. Maybe turning has a bit of a squeak to it. Tiago, you still there, friend? I remember you said you I think it was you. You said you had a bit of a delay previously. Let me give you just a little more time and we might switch to somebody. Imagine this this cultist just sitting there in the dark, waiting to die, like a good little evil-ling, a little minion. the cultist who lived,
Sorry,
come to die.
I strike the cultist with add fire damage from my giant ancestry.
That is a smart
Narragath,
way to
here
do
is
it.
some ammo coming. Valen picks up some rubble and throws it towards Narragath, hoping that he can use to help squash the remaining cultist or knock some sense into them.
The rubble flies at you. You're able to catch a little bit of it, and as you grasp it, you crumble it in your hand, turning that stone to flame. You channel that energy through your weapon and swing. Make an attack roll. It's going to be !R, STR, attack. And if you hit, you're going to be dealing some extra fire damage here. Also, you apologize. No worry. It happens. There's a lot going on. 22 will certainly hit. Now roll !R, 1d8 plus 1d10 plus 5. There is a slim chance that this enemy survives your attack, but I don't see it happening. We're gonna see exactly how this this damage shakes out. 12 points of damage is going to do it. So, Tiago, how do you want to finish off this cultist as you bring your blade of fire down into them? What does that look like? While you think about that, I'm going to get myself ready for what comes next. By the way, I am not an avatar of Zealous, Andre says. Yeah. We believe you. No. That is 5 tentacles that you guys have now in the inventory. I don't know what that could be used to make, but I fully expect chat to use it to devastating effect against every future enemy. What do you think, Tiago? How do you want to finish this?
I look him in the eyes while my sword burns a strong fire in his chest and scream, "You have my revenge, bastard!"
As that fire burns in your eyes, it even it penetrates the darkness that Yancfer has conjured. And the last thing this individual sees is a flaming Goliath bringing down that weapon, cutting them asunder and instantly cauterizing every single vessel in their bodies as they are felled. And as they are felled, silence begins to retake your senses. The echoes of battle fade, but then there is another sound. Someone is weeping. A stirring breeze draws the silt upwards in spirals, and from it a form begins to take shape. A Triton woman, her spectral body adorned in bands of coral, barnacle-draped armor, and long strands of shell that drift like ribbons in the tide, though there is no water here. She kneels beside a fallen cultist, the one you just felled, and lifts them, yet in her arms rests a different figure entirely. An armored Triton, eyes closed. Her weeping continues until the woman lifts her gaze to meet yours. Why? Why must we fight on our own? Lured in by the light of pride, only to become weapons sharpened against each other. My power is only his, borrowed. Einir, you must go. Find a strength he cannot wield, and save our people. By merely freeing you, I am already lost. But I do it willing, that I love you deeply. That I love all those he has enslaved. Tethys, you are no priestess of Zealous. You are the mother of the tides. Without your gift, I could not refuse him.
Guys, I sense this will attract some kind of guard here. We need to move. I don't think we're safe here. We need to go, and we really need to rest.
Without your gift, I could not refuse him. So now, I choose to heed you, just as I will choose to return for you. The form fades in the same swirl of wind.
Shadow
that conjured
Sharpling,
it.
can you drop the darkness, please? I don't know if I am seeing this correctly. Valen asks nervously as she opens her magical eyes of love and examines the recording and the cauldron.
Staring out into the distance as the darkness drops, you catch only a fleeting glimpse of the silhouette of this figure, and it resembles the statue that you saw upon entering Nerethys. As its form dissipates, you realize that this conversation was between Einir and Tethys, a vision of the past granted by the wind. And as that new gleaning settles like the silt upon the floor, that is where we will end our session for tonight. So, thank you everyone so much for being a part of this adventure so far. Make sure to tune in next Monday at 7 p.m. Central Time when we run episode 7.
I'm sorry for interrupting.
Oh, no, it's fine. It happens. It's all good. And honestly, I feel like your characters were probably a little confused with this all happening and the voice, and makes sense. But make sure to like the video if you
I
haven't
moved
already.
to pick up the cultist cauldron.
The cauldron. Oh, yeah, the vessel. Okay. We'll definitely have you pick that up. I will add it to your inventory for next session, which will be Monday. Make sure you like the video if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any future streams. And make sure to tune in on Wednesday when we get back to the Molten Myth, our regular live stream.
Check loot.
I cry out with my last breath before the session ends.
Ah! But all that said, until next time, go out there and make some chaos. Bye!
Heart.
Thank you for this. I'll go to sleep now. 3:30 a.m. Bye. Thanks.